we're a communal people, right? We're a communal people, right? We want to create, like I said, we set out to create a community center that focuses on health and wellness. Yeah, we get people through the door because we have cannabis and holistic products, but really we just want to get back to building community, right? Being able to have a conversation, being able to build upon a network of people, no matter what your background is. You know, you never know who you're going to be sitting next to at the Bookstore Gallery. And that's the human piece that's so crucial, and that's why our business has thrived thus far, is because we build genuine human, relationships.
Peace, family. Welcome to the Black Businessman podcast, where we have Black men who are making money and making an impact in the community with their business and in how they conduct themselves. So here we're talking to Clive.
What's up, Clive?
Please, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Nah, thanks for coming on. I know you're a busy man, right?
Yeah, bro, don't stop.
Don't stop, right? So taking your time out, we're going he got an event right after this, right? So to make sure you conduct and make sure it's going good. So I appreciate your time for being here. I was 50 Cent, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's get into it. So tell us about the Bookstore Gallery, about your business, and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so how y'all doing? My name is Kyle Brown. I'm the founder and CEO of the Bookstore Gallery. Bookstore Gallery is it's a Black-owned establishment, of course, but it's the first dab bar and dispensary in Fulton County.
What's a dab bar?
So a dab is the extract from the flower, right? Mm-hmm. So we literally have a 2-ton press on the premises where we take the flower, the buds, we put it in the press, and that's how we squeeze out the oils, the cannabis oil. What people call it dab, some people call it extract. It's all the same thing. It's all a derivative of the buds.
Okay, so you was first dab bar in Atlanta.
First dab bar in Atlanta. So I was inspired. I did my undergrad at Morehouse, and then I got my MBA at Emory. And while I was getting my MBA, I studied abroad, and I was in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. And I just found myself in a coffee shop every day. I love the interaction between the bud tenders and their daily clients. And it really was a modern pharmacy exchange. And they knew every day, they knew what their clients wanted. And it was just a great community center. So I just felt like, hey, if I could bring this concept to Atlanta, of course, put our culture in it, and also be able to provide therapy. Therapy looks in several different ways. I wanted to be able to provide therapy through, of course, educate people on the botanicals, on the uses of not just cannabis, but we serve kava, kratom. We actually have non-psychoactive shrooms as well. Just being able to educate people on the benefits of using other products, besides just going to a pharmaceutical or going to CVS or Walgreens. There's other products that you can use that are all natural, that are organic. We all have an endocannabinoid system, so we were made to process cannabis. I wanted to make sure that we tear down that stigma that cannabis is a negative drug, when really it's medicine. It really helps us.
In doing that education, because I know when there's a wall of pharmaceuticals that they because they don't want to lose money. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. What has been some of the hard parts of knocking that stereotype down?
Some of the hard part I would say is just people just don't know. They just gotta have the education. Everyone, because a lot of us have been impacted by mass incarceration of individuals who were selling, or utilizing cannabis, and it just wasn't true. Like you said, they wanted to make sure that these big pharmaceutical companies, basically they're imitating the benefits of the flower. They manufacture
with a lot of side effects.
A lot of side effects.
They got this warning on the commercial.
Exactly. Side effects is worse than the dang issue that you have at hand, right? But so for me, it's just breaking down, it's just educating people, letting them know. Like I said, a lot of people don't even know that we all have an endocannabinoid system. We all were made to process cannabis, obviously at different doses, and that's where we come in. Like, I never want to give a client too high of a dosage, right? I want to get them in on the ground floor. And it's not just about smoking. There's so many other applications where you can utilize the cannabis, right? You can drink it. We make herbal teas, which we put hemp in our teas because it's antivirus, it's antiviral, it's anti-cancerous. Those two things alone, you know, we need that on a daily basis. Just breathing the air in outside, you're breathing in toxins and all these different cancers causing agents, right? So we definitely want to, you know, promote health and wellness to everybody, right? And like I said, a lot of folks, they just think that, oh, you're just going to get high. And it's not about getting high. It's about getting elevated. It's about making sure, you know, we all have pain, whether it's physical pain, psychological pain. You know, we just want to provide supplements that people can use that work, you know, once you are educated about it and you do understand how to microdose. Because you never want to do too much of it because it will knock you out. It will make you sleepy or...
That's any drug. You overdose on painkillers, right? People have done that. You get addicted to them. What is that? So what does that diagnosis look like? How do you... So people say, hey, you know what? You're going into the realm of a doctor. What does the diagnosis look like when somebody comes to you and says, for the first time, they're like, hey, I want to try this?
Right. So first things first, I always tell folks, consult with your doctor, right? Because a lot of folks, they may be coming to me already on pressure medications and things like that. And I never want them to be using those drugs and then also using the cannabis. So we always tell folks, reach out to your physician, and I promise you your physician is not going to have an issue with you using CBD or cannabis products as long as it's quality, right? You can find it at gas stations, but I wouldn't put any type of gas station CBD in my body.
They don't know what they have. They don't even know where they're coming from.
Exactly. They don't know where it's coming from, man. Our stuff is validated. It's tested. We have a certificate of analysis on every single product that we have in our shop. Because anything that you ingest, you should want to know where it's coming from. You should want to know that, hey, this plant was grown in organic soil that's been tested for, you know, metals, for pesticides, plastics. All of our products are tested and backed by that type of testing analysis. And, you know, we're in an industry where it's constantly evolving, right? You know, Georgia is a medical state. You can't get your medical marijuana card here in Georgia. But in my spot at the Bookstore Gallery, you just have to be 21 years of age, be older to come in and partake. We're coming in at the recreational legal limit here in Georgia, which is 0.03%, all the way up to 0.06% in certain products. Like we do sell edibles, we do sell topicals, we sell, of course, the flower.
Give us some edibles, topicals, just so the audience who've never heard that before. What is an edible? What is a topical? How does that?
Okay. So yeah, we partner with a bakery, so all of our products are, you know, of course, organic. And edibles could be a gummy. Our gummies are soy-based, so there's no gelatin, no pork in our gummies. Another edible would be like we sell cookies. We have different variations of cookies, whether it's a chocolate chip. We've got oatmeal, snickerdoodle. We make brownies. We also have Rice Krispie treat. And all these range with different strengths, right? Gummies range from 10 milligrams, which is more of like a microdose, all the way up to our strongest edible would be 400 milligrams, which is a Rice Krispie treat, which you always recommend. That's multiple servings, right? You never want to eat that whole thing. 400 milligrams is a lot.
All right, so give me, for microdosing, what does that look like? Microdosing to 400 milligrams. Let's start with the microdosing. What does that look like? I've never even taken them, right? So what does that look like if a person who never ingested to somebody who has an immune system that's immune to it?
Right.
And I'm even saying it correctly.
Yeah. I would definitely say you kind of want to, you start off with a low dosage, right? So anywhere between like maybe 2 to 5 milligrams.
And what does that look like food-wise?
So food-wise, like I said, they all have different milligrams, different strengths, and different sizes. Right? Our Rice Krispie treat is relatively is pretty big, right? And I basically would let folks know that you would want to start off with just a little tiny bit, right, and give yourself about an hour, because everybody's metabolism is different. right? So I know people say, oh, I don't feel anything. Well, typically with edible, you're not going to feel anything within, like I said, probably anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on your body type, metabolism, and things like that. But with that being said, I always tell people, just try just a little pinch, just a pinch. A pinch would probably be, like I said, if it's a cookie, it'd probably be, if you cut it into, I would say like maybe 6 pieces. Because a cookie's going to be about 100 milligrams.
So you just take one of those pieces.
Just take a small piece, give yourself an hour, and then kind of gauge how you feel. Within that hour, you can say, oh, okay, I actually feel it. Or actually, hey, maybe I should take another little piece. And that's how you basically back your way into what's a good dosage for you personally. Like I said, a small pinch, I would say a micro dose is anywhere from like 2 milligrams to 5 milligrams.
So what's the difference between smoking it, eating it, and then you said it was a third way,
with the teas.
With the teas, yes.
So smoking, obviously anything that you're burning, that you're inhaling is going to impair your lungs, right? So smoking will definitely have an impact on your lungs. Obviously, it's better than smoking tobacco, but it still will cause inflammation.
Just because you're burning something into your lungs.
Everything that's combusting and you're inhaling that, it will negatively impact your lungs. Now, when you're talking about edibles, like the gummies, the cookies, things like that, it takes a little bit longer for you to feel it because your body has to process it, right? It has to go through, it travels through your blood, it travels to your liver, and all those things are what, once it's processed through your body, then you will start to feel those benefits. Yeah. And then with drinking it, we do offer herbal teas. We also have like a cannabis shot that's also in a liquid form. That will get you relatively quicker. I would say smoking it obviously will impair your liquidness, right? You'll feel it immediately. Then I would say if you were to drink it, that's probably the second fastest way to actually feel the benefits of the plant. And then last, I would say would be the edibles, because like I said, it takes time for you to metabolize it, for it to go through your bloodstream and all those things.
And you guys make the teas there. Tell us about the tea makers and how the tea goes there.
Yeah, so my aunt, she's a master gardener. And they also help with anxiety and anybody who's dealing with like sleep issues. So she literally look up all the different benefits of each herb, and she does custom blends for people. And like I said, it's a nice supplement to have. Just like you would take a vitamin every day, you should definitely drink the teas on a regular basis. And they say on average, you should keep at least 20 milligrams of CBD in your body per day on average.
Okay. And then those are the only ways to get it, those through drinking, eating something, or smoking. Yeah. And why do they say that you should keep those 20 milligrams? Just
because, like I said, we have an endocannabinoid system. And
what does that mean for people?
So basically, our nerves actually have receptors, right? And the cannabis helps these receptors talk to each other, right? So even with like pain management, the CBD, the hemp, that hits specific receptors in your body that can help give you pain relief. Or it can also help with any type of inflammation. It can help reduce that. When you talk about inflammation, you're talking about like mucus throughout the body. The hemp does counteract that. And you don't want mucus in your body, period. Okay. So that's why you definitely want to keep the CBD in your body, because it does fight that. So
I want to get to you and your aunt being business partners.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason why I'm asking that, because me and my mom, right, we built the cleaning business together, and she raised you, right? She was part of helping raise you. What was it like transitioning from the aunts, somebody, elder, to business partner? We have conflict. We have, all those things like that. How did that relationship start? That you started with business, and how has it evolved? What have you learned in that process?
Yeah, so I mean, you definitely have to, I would say, compartmentalize each relationship, right? So And we made a commitment to each other saying, hey, that, you know, this business will not impact our relationship as a nephew. That's our first relationship. That's the foundational piece, that we just will not let the business overlap into that, right? And then secondly, like you said, we do have, you know, times where, you know, we don't see naturally eye to eye, but it's all about respect, and it's all about, we both want to see this business do well. We want it to stand the test of time. We understand that this business is bigger than us, right? We want this to be completely sustainable. We want the next set of leaders, the younger generation, to be able to come up and run this community center, this dab bar, dispensary, this apothecary, if you will. That's what we're in the business of doing, educating people and making sure that we have opportunities, job opportunities for these young folks coming up, because the cannabis industry is exploding. Right?
Yeah,
it is definitely an industry that's going to be, you know, a force to be reckoned. It's going to be over a $50 billion industry in 2025.
So, and that comes in the next part. You're trying to help the people, encourage the people. We went to jail about these things, right? We went to prison, and now you have these other big corporations pouring in billions of dollars. You know, a lot of times we don't have access to those kind of capital, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes I tell people, hey, 10 million in this type of economy is not even a lot of money, right? In that industry, right? You have people pouring in billions, you have capital. How do you combat, one, the education, and then the other, the vultures, who I want to say, some of them that are trying to come in and only see a profit, aren't trying to educate and even give back to some of the to the communities, right, that have been most affected by this so-called drug war that was inflicted on us.
Right. That's why we started this business, man. We wanted to make sure Black and brown people had a seat at the table, because, like you said, these big machines, they looking to just come in and just dominate, and they're not thinking about us. Because, like you said, they're always thinking about just a dollar bill, and we're coming about it from a different standpoint. We're coming about it because naturally we're communal people, right? We want to create, like I said, we set out to create a community center that focuses on health and wellness. Yeah, we get people through the door because we have cannabis and holistic products, but really we just want to get back to building community, right? Being able to have a conversation, being able to build upon a network of people, no matter what your background is. You know, you never know who you're going to be sitting next to at the Bookstore Gallery. And that's the human piece that's so crucial. And that's why our business has thrived thus far, is because we build genuine human, you know, relationships. You know, especially coming out of COVID, where everybody was just isolated, everybody was just home. You know, it's just really an undertaking to get people back to socializing, and not just socializing, but being in a safe space where you can socialize. It's a non-judgment zone, you know what I'm saying? Because we know everybody has pain, whether it's mentally, physically, psychologically. I mean, we're all going through something. And you'd be surprised how much a conversation with somebody who looks like you, or somebody who's from your same neighborhood, how much that helps in therapy. You know, just communication is key.
Yeah, no, so people love to say hurt people, but I also like to say heal people.
Yeah.
Right? Because just like you said, sometimes you've been through a pain and you're like, all right, let me bring you up, right? Let me help you, and you've helped somebody. Because we go to the negative, they hurt people. But I said, no, heal people. Right? Because they're on their journey of healing, and they're helping somebody else. They're like, hey, I was at that step right below you. This is what's going on. But sometimes it's not even that. It's like you said, just a lending ear. It's not even I'm above or below you. I'm even taking another step. It's just like, yo, let's have a conversation. We just met up, had a great day. Hey, we're here at the books. I've been down there, and, you know, I'm way out of the city, but every time I come down, I try to stop in there and just say what's up, you know, get a tea. I love talking your arm up, talking about everybody at the bookstore, Tokyo's there. And just the environment is great. So what are the next steps for Bookstore Gallery now?
So the next steps, of course, I want you all to follow us. Our Instagram, it's Bookstore Gallery _ATL. We also do a lot of private events, right? We do birthday parties, anniversaries. You can check us out or shoot us an email, bookstoregallery@gmail.com. and we'll provide pricing. We have a sound system, wireless mics. Of course, we have 2 bars. We have the dab bar and we have the tea bar. But we do allow people to come bring in catering, foods.
And we'll put a picture of it, and we'll put like a little video you can send them. We can put that inside so they can just see that.
Yeah,
we'll just have a little tour of it inside.
But what's coming next? So we're looking to open our second location. So our first location is located in Castleberry Hills, right by the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, across the street from Atlanta, Kentucky, the brewery. So our next location is going to be in Edgewood. It's going to be right next door to Slutty Vegan, so 488 Edgewood. It's going to be our second location. We're looking to open as early as like April.
Oh, shit.
We're looking for a Q2 grand opening for the people. And it's going to be a bigger location. We're looking to accommodate more people, a lot more events we're looking to do. And like I said, looking to partner with Pinky Cole, figure out a way where we can kind of just be a beacon, a positive beacon in that neighborhood. Because obviously there's a lot of homelessness. There's a lot of individuals who are just struggling with personal hygiene and things like that. So I don't want to build a business on top of people laying on the streets. I want to be able to provide some type of initiative to get them to work, to help get them cleaned up, help to make sure they're being fed. So those are some of the initiatives I definitely want to implement for the second location. My first location, we focus a lot on mental health. What we realized in the Castleberry Hill, there's just a lot of individuals. Of course, homelessness is there, but there's just a lot of individuals who are struggling with mental health. So that's why we do a lot of mental health events. I know that's how we met. Which is a men's mental health meetup that we host every first and third Tuesday of every month. The first Thursday of every month, we do a happy hour healing, which is led by a clinical psychologist, Dr. Ammonia. She basically facilitates the conversation with women on whatever they want to talk about, any topic. You know, it's nothing off limits, because vulnerability really is a strength when we all can have or be in a safe space to talk. And that's what we provide at the Bookstore Gallery.
So people are looking, you talk about events. What type of events would you welcome into the bookstore? And what type of events are you like, hey, we don't want those events there?
So like I said, therapy, right? We want to provide therapy to the people, right? So therapy can be a lot of different things, right? We provide, we do a lot of live music. Being at our first location is in Castleberry. Castleberry is the art district of Atlanta, right? So naturally, we tap into a lot of our neighbors are actually artists. So we actually also sell art in our location. So whether it's art, music, of course, all the different botanicals, anybody who's looking just to help someone when it comes to mental health or just your all in all, just wellness.
Just wellness.
Any type of vendor or another business that's in the space of providing, wellness, we definitely want to attract those type of individuals. We'd love to partner and do events when it's centered around health and wellness, and of course, building community. That's what we want to focus on. Those type of vendors, those type of businesses, are who we want to partner with. Anybody who's not doing that, we typically stay clear.
Yeah. And then the other, so what about people, I don't know the industry like that, so what about the contrarians, people who are like, hey, this cannabis is bad for you, this sector is bad for you. What are some of the biggest misconceptions that, or even the blatant lies that people throw on you because you know, in your journey to bring this to the community?
Yeah, man, that's a good look that you said there. If it was so negative, why are people using cannabis to wean people off of opiates, right? It's naturally grown. It's a plant. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing negative. Of course, if you utilize it in certain ways, it can have a negative impact on you, but it's natural. It's
but you're threatening $1 billion industry. So I know there has to be some kind of smear campaign, you know, and you know, because this has grown, like you said, it's been a $50 billion industry. So you have one side where people are coming in, pouring in money, like you're gonna get into this, but you have another side of people who their livelihood are threatened, right? You know, so using the car, for example, when the horse and buggy was getting, and they were talking about marketing there, where they were like, hey, the car, you're going to die, it's going to turn on you, all those things like that. And they had a smear campaign against that. What are some of those things that they're trying to put out into the public that would make people afraid?
So I know I read an article where they're talking about a lot more mental cases are coming up. With people overusing the plant, people are becoming like schizophrenic and things of that nature. Which, you know, it's a case by case basis. I mean, that's that could be heretical, right? Like if that's in your family DNA, you know, it's not really.
How do we know what it even is, right?
Exactly. But like you said, as part of the smear campaign, obviously, I do believe children shouldn't be using cannabis, right? They're still having that mental development, right? Their brains are still growing and things like that. I definitely don't think children should be using it unless it's prescribed. Like if they have like a cerebral palsy or they have a medical condition, seizures, things like that. There's data that shows that cannabis can help reduce those type of ailments in children. But like as far as recreational use, I do not believe any child should be utilizing this because they're not developed.
What do you think would be a good age to even start that they did?
I definitely would say, you know, well over 21 years old. I think men grow until like 26. You know? So I definitely would say, you know, the later, the better. Definitely want to abide by the state laws, right? You definitely want to be over 21. But just, I know for me, I didn't start utilizing cannabis until I was in college. But those are some of the severe campaigns because, you know, some of the young folks are using it younger and younger.
Yeah, definitely. You know, but it's the same thing as alcohol, anything that you abuse, right? Anything can be abused, right? I always say there's a good and a bad. A gun can be abused. Anything can be abused, right? If we don't know how to do it, we don't abide by it. And there's experts who give us guidance on these things, right? And then there's data, of course, from the experts. So those are the things.
And that's what we want more of. We want these institutions because we know that they're dabbling in it. Yeah. They're making these medicines. So I love to see like Morehouse School of Medicine, Emory, Georgia State, Georgia Tech. I would love for them to publish more information so the masses can get educated and know how to utilize this medicine. You know what I'm saying? I think that if we could just continue to push out education, because we have clients that are doctors, lawyers, you know what I'm saying? They're physicians, they're teachers. So, you know, and it really does bring everybody together. You know what I'm saying? It transcends all ethnicities, all ages, all of that.
Backgrounds, class and everything.
All of that.
Yeah,
so I definitely believe it's just a positive medicine that we just need to dive in on, educate ourselves about it, because it's not a one size fit all. Maybe smoking isn't free. Maybe an edible is, or maybe the teas are. There's so many different options out there that people just not aware of. That we hope that they come down to the Bookstore Gallery and we can educate them on.
Yeah, because it's not even just like, hey, selling you. Because I know we talked about all of these things we talked about, right? Just the teas, the edibles, and it was really like an education on top of it, right? What's like, oh, here, just take this. It was like, nah, what questions do you have? You guys are all pretty knowledgeable on it. Do you think that the universities, have they been putting out papers, or they need to do more, or what do you think that the university, have they been putting out this educational material?
I think they need to do more of it, right? I definitely do see an uptick in a lot of these universities are now offering cannabis type of programming, so people can get some type of degree or some type of knowledge or certification in learning about the plant, which is positive, because there's going to be a lot more job opportunities, more than just growing it, right? There's so many more jobs that are going to be coming about, whether it's marketing, finance, accounting, all those jobs will transcend into the cannabis industry, and we just got to make sure these individuals, these children are ready for that. And I think the earlier the better. For example, Nevada, I think they're starting to educate their kids in K through 12, as early as kindergarten, and learning how to interact with soil, how to grow it, how to put in all the different styles of growing. They're educating the kids about it, and getting back into farming is a big thing.
Not farming, period. I just think that even us as a people, right? We need to be farming more. We need to get back to the land. I tell people, I said, I don't care how much money I got. If I don't have shelter, if I can't grow my own food, and I don't have a water source, I don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't go out and get, because everything shuts down. One of my things is what happens when you go to the bank until you have nothing in there. Right? What are you gonna do?
You gotta be self-sufficient.
You gotta be self-sufficient, right? We learned that through COVID, so that's one of my things in there is understanding that the education part. I'm always gonna have a people that with business systems. As I've hired people and for marketing roles, for operations, for accounting roles, their level of competency. They knew the theory of it, right? But they would always be like, I learned so much more working here at the actual business, because when you're doing a business, you have to strip away everything else that doesn't have anything to do with the business, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing with the education system, right? I believe that every company that's going to be great is going to have their own training program, and going to bring people in and train them themselves and say, hey, we're going to train you on how to do it, and so that you can be great here in the company, because we have our own particular way of doing it. And I just believe that trying to have a cookie cutter system where somebody comes from the university and they'll be ready, you're still going to have to train them.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's kind of my take on that.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I've learned everything just doing it in practice. Like literally, flying a plane while we build it.
Yeah, while we build it. Yeah.
Because this is an industry that's it's evolving on a day-to-day basis, and we're communicating with our politicians, right? Communicating with all different advocacy groups, just letting them know that this is coming. Cannabis is coming to Georgia.
What's the pushback you done got from politicians, or what's that relationship like with community boards, with politicians, with people who are like, they don't know what's going on and they're scared, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's easier to keep the status quo than to change things and be dynamic. Most people are going to want to stay with the status quo. How has that been?
I think I can honestly say all the politicians that we've had in our space, they've all been receptive to it, just because they're understanding that, hey, there's more data coming out and showing that, hey, there's children with cerebral palsy who are using CBD, and it's helping their health, their overall well-being. And like I said, there's a lot of individuals who are trying to wean off of the opiates, right? These hard methamphetamines and drugs that are just wiping out these young folks.
Yeah.
And this cannabis is consistently getting them off of it. You know what I'm saying? And then also having to remove cannabis from these testing kits and panels, just because it's really a medicine. It's really not a drug. Because even when people go through these rehab centers, they'll test positive for cannabis. And it's like, what's a successful patient look like if they don't use the cannabis to get off of the methamphetamines and all these other narcotics? So those are the things that the politicians, they've been very receptive to. They understand that most of their constituents are using it or want to use it. So they're just working on it. If they don't want to use it, they do want to invest in it, because they know this is a growing industry and it's very lucrative. I mean, and the early adopters who get into this industry are going to control it. And the reason Bookstore Gallery is in existence is because we want to make sure Black and brown people had a place for them to come and partake safely in a safe space, and also know that it's quality products. It's tested. It's backed by, COAs. Because anything you put in your body, you need to know where it's coming from.
Especially you want to go get it from the gas station. Yeah, you want to be like, yo, where the weed at?
They don't care about you. They don't care about you. But we actually are a community center that care about our people. We care about the education, because they can't take that from you. Once you're educated on this, there's so many different job opportunities that's going to come about the more you become educated.
What's the challenge? What the major challenges for the Bookstore Gallery going forward? What's the challenges that you have going forward? What is the things you're thinking about that you're pondering as you go forward?
Just some of the challenges. So we also do deliver. So we do on Cannago. If you're within a 15-mile radius of any of our locations, we do deliver. Okay. And it is a HIPAA certified service. So they are going to validate and make sure that, hey, you are 21 years and older, and you are who you say you are when you're getting these products. I just want to make sure that, like I said, I don't want any children to ever be able to indulge in any of our products, right? So I always want to make sure that, when any of our products are being delivered, anyone comes and picks it up, that they're going.
I'm like, yo, son, we know each other.
Exactly. Definitely got to make sure that, just don't want it to get in the wrong hands, right?
I just be laughing because it's like every time we come through, you be like, yo, all right, you got your ID. The ideas, they don't, it's really like not a joke about making sure it's secured, but so that challenge of go ahead, you're saying about the challenge of the...
Yeah, so just the challenge, I just always want to make sure that, children are not,
How do you get around that, like delivery-wise? Just, let me see your ID. How do you do that before when they make the order, they got to call you, they got to send it to
so all the online orders go through Cannago, like there's a third party, and they validate all users of the platform. Like I said, whenever it's delivered, they're going to validate the ID, make sure it's, it's a legit ID, and that the individual is...
Cannago, that's wow.
Yeah, Cannago, yep. Cannago, Cannago. You go in there, you type in Bookstore Gallery, we'll pop up and we'll deliver any of our products to you.
Yeah, wow.
And then, CBD is legal in all 50 states, so we are able to ship it
anywhere
across state lines and all of that.
So what's the challenge? I know the marketing is a challenge because you can't market certain ways like Google.
Exactly.
So what's the biggest challenges with that?
That's definitely a huge challenge because, we can't run ads on a cannabis product, right? So the way we've been getting around it is just by really good hospitality and service, and just knowing our product. That's always going to be
word of mouth.
Word of mouth. I would say 90% of our customers is all from word of mouth.
Are you guys not allowed to educate on YouTube or nothing like that? Is that what your thing is?
So that's another way of marketing the products or marketing Bookstore Gallery. It's just through testimonials. Like I said, we're going to start a YouTube channel this year as well, where we're going to be putting out bits about the education behind the plants and all different individuals who use it and how they use it.
I think that's the market, though, is that to become the leader in the industry of the go-to spot of where you can get the education from, of understanding the plant. And I haven't seen that, I've looked up videos, I've talked to other people, and I said, where can I go to really break it down? And there's like scientific channels, but it's boring, what I'm saying? It's not entertaining. Right, and where do I go to? So that's why I was saying, hey, the YouTube channel, putting that education out there, making sure that you become the go-to authority, right? And then they can also, from there, coming back to the bookstore, ordering online, understanding the educational concept. Because I think even though there's a lot of people who use it, I think that the market, and like I said, I know research from me on this, but just talking to people that, you have people who are just going to the weed man, you know what I'm saying? Like more people go to the weed man, they don't understand what's going on. And then other people who think it's not good for them, right? Obviously, I'm in that camp, right? Who's like, I don't need that. But it's like, nah, there's benefits to it. We keep having conversations. I just never jump that line and say, okay, because when I was a kid, I used to smoke the weed. You know what I mean? That's all I knew, right? But and I've had, I don't want to say bad experiences, but I look back and I'm like, it's never been tangibly beneficial for me. You know what I mean? So it's like, so coming back over that line, right? Understanding that, and I think that where the education part is, where somebody's not saying, not just to use to get high, but to use to actually elevate yourself and be in a place where you can be free of mind, and it's actually a benefit that you're actually losing benefits. Because that's a conversation we always have. Like, hey, not only are you missing out on the elevation, but you're missing out on these benefits that you're not getting because you're not using it.
Right. And like we said, I mean, your local weed man, he's typically not going to be as educated in the plant. He just knows because it's loud and stuff. But most people don't even realize that, CBD, these are all different cannabinoids in the plant, right? And on average, whenever you smoke a joint, you're going to have, on average, like over 14 different cannabinoids. And CBD is one of them. Everyone just calls out THC because that's the one that's going to give you that psychoactive high, right? That's what's going to impair you. But there's so many other cannabinoids in the plant that's there.
Yeah.
And that's just,
It's deeper than rap. People don't even really.
Yeah, deeper than just THC.
That's all I know is like CBD. CBD, but you're saying that there's a whole bunch of cannabinoids.
A whole slew of different cannabinoids. Every time you smoke, like I said, it's at least 14 different cannabinoids, if not more. Just understanding what each of those cannabinoids will do to your body. Like I said, how is it going to impact your nerves talking to each other? So those things are just things that, we want our customers to come in and understand, and don't take our word on it. Just continue to educate. You just want to spark the...
You won't provide that education, though. Y'all got to follow the Bookstore Gallery because they don't provide that education. I said it because just not having it where they have to go somewhere else, right? You want to be the person that they want to educate and be able to have it there.
So spark that, spark it in you, and you can come back and teach us some things. We always... really push ourselves every week to be the best, continue to learn and learn cutting edge ways of using the plants, and just constantly educating ourselves so we can be.
Well, I think you're in a better position than anybody else because two things is one is that universities, even schools, this is when I go back to the business part. Schools they don't have the incentive, right? And they don't have the data. The data is you're coming back with people who use it. Hey, this was great. Hey, this was my experience, right? Hey, this is what happened, right? They don't have that data. It's all scientific, but you're having real-time conversations and interactions with people who are actually using it, who are actually knowing it and having to, because if you do a bad job, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I gotta, hit people where they're at. I'm not trying to have them. I know everyone can kind of talk about an edible story where they know somebody who had edible, they was knocked out of the club, or, I never want to give any of my clients that type of experience, because the most fulfilling thing for me is being able to see somebody come back and say, yo, this worked for me. Like, this helped me. This helped me get more sleep, or this helped reduce my anxiety or depression, or, this helped, like the topicals. I had a woman who was supposed to get knee surgery. She's been using our 2,000 milligram freeze rub, and she's postponing the surgery.
Yeah, what's up?
You know what I'm saying? So that's the most fulfilling thing. It's invaluable when somebody can come back and say, hey, this product worked. And not only did it work, but I wanted to refer it. Because like I said, most of our customers are all referral based because we can't run the ads. That's one of our, biggest challenges is definitely trying to market it. But affiliative marketing is working. People are using it. People talking about it. It's definitely been a way where we've been able to kind of.
You have an official affiliate program, or is it just or are you just seeing word of mouth?
Just word of mouth, and like I said, we're creating our magazine.
Which we
Bookstore Gallery magazine. Yeah, so that's another way we're disseminating the information, and also talking about other practitioners in the space who are also wanting to help. Push wellness with everybody.
You ever thought about bringing them in and actually having them speak, or has that already being done, or how?
Yeah, so we our early days, we have an educational series where we've had Dr. Felicia Dawson. She's a OBGYN. She's also an advocate for Black women's health and the use of cannabis. We've had her come and do talks. We've had, like I said, politicians come in and talk about just the legalities of it, right? It's decriminalized in Fulton County, and now I think East Point was just the latest city to kind of decriminalize cannabis. But it's still a lot more counties out there that will still lock you up. Exactly. So, definitely knowing where you can partake and where you can have it on your person and where you don't, just constantly having folks come and talk about,
just understand that. That's what's up, man. Is there anything else you want to tell us before you leave? Hit them again with where you at.
Check us out, Bookstore Gallery _ATL on Instagram. We all are also on LinkedIn. We post blogs weekly. Of course, getting the education out there. We will be having a YouTube channel that will also be under the Bookstore Gallery name. And we're on Twitter or X. We also provide blogs and education on that platform as well. We do have, we're going to roll out our newsletter on a monthly basis. Quarterly, we're going to roll out our Bookstore Gallery magazine, which is going to be focused on health and wellness and the uses of cannabis and other up-and-coming businesses as well. We're also, what else? Appreciate you having us on this.
Yes. I want to say one thing about your YouTube channel. Have you set it up already?
It's set up, but it's not made public yet because we kind of want to stockpile all of our content and stuff like that.
So same thing. By the time this comes out, they have the YouTube, but you want to have the YouTube where people can subscribe. You have all the videos hidden, but they can still subscribe so that you can still follow you right now. You may have 100, 200, 300 subscribers before you even release anything.
Okay. No, that's,
you know what I'm saying? So
you just educated me.
Yeah, that's not. You have all of them hidden, you just put them unlisted, or you can put them in private. Okay. All your videos private, but you still have the channel up there where they can come and subscribe. You're like, hey, subscribe as soon as and you can premiere the first video for because you can put, I don't know if you know how to do it, but on YouTube, they have a premiere, and you can say, yeah, our first video is going to premiere on, July 5th or whatever. And you can schedule that one video for the premiere, and people can know and they can subscribe. So when it comes out, it'll hit their button.
Nah, man, that's beautiful, man. Definitely need to utilize that for sure. That's a good strategy.
But I said Bookstore Gallery.
Yeah, everything else you want to man. Check out our website, bookstoregallery.com. We can go online, see all the things that we do, all the different events. If you're looking for event space to rent, to do a workshop, a birthday party, anniversary, come on through. Come check us out. We're located 461 Nelson Street, Southwest, right in Castleberry, right by the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then stay tuned for Q2. We're looking to open our second location, Bookstore Gallery. It's going to be located 488 Edgewood, right around the corner from the Martin Luther King Center, as well as right next door to Slutty Beacon.
Nah, man, I appreciate it. You're doing a big thing. Appreciate having you out here, man.
I look forward to coming back.
Yeah, listen, I tell everybody, look, I want to see you 6 months to a year where we can say, hey, this is what the progress is. All you got to do is let me know that you're ready to come on. And we're going to schedule you listen, I want to come back, put you on the calendar, and we'll get back on there, all right?
Definitely going to come back, man. Definitely subscribe.
All right, man, we got the man behind the camera over there, you know what I'm saying? All right, man. Anything else? That's it, man. Black Business Podcast, Black Businessman Podcast. We're here, making it happen, making an impact, making money, trying to impact. We are an impact in our community. We're not trying to do nothing. We make it happen.
That's right. We're making it happen.
Right. Peace.